Hello guys, today I spent another lovely afternoon here in my garden. I like to call it my outdoors artist studio. Whenever the weather is warm and sunny, I really like to be here and I really like to just be present, watch the nature, observe my old trees. I'm here sitting below my old apple tree and I have this super old table that's falling apart, but I really like to create here. So today I was inspired by field flowers, and also I tried this hammer flower technique, which did leave me with a lot of nice pigment, and I was then inspired to draw some flowers on the paper. But it's not something that I would repeat because I just, hate the fact of picking the flowers and then destroying them with a hammer. But in a sense, they do leave a beautiful picture and a beautiful story on the paper. So I do understand if you like to do that. I was just trying this method out today, but I think I much prefer to draw something from scratch, on the piece of paper. So I played with watercolor today, and I can say I really enjoy how watercolor glides on the paper. So yeah, I was basically playing a little bit. To me, creating art, being artsy and inspired, it's a form of being creative and playful and just enjoying life and enjoying the present moment without, the fear or without the anxiety of having to perform, having to do masterpiece or whatnot. Allowing yourself to make mistakes, allowing yourself not to be perfect, not to be the best, but just allowing yourself to put some color on the paper and express yourself and just feel your presence in this now moment. You know what I mean? When I go and create something, I always think of my son, and I think of the kids that just take a piece of paper and the pencils and they are just being creative, being themselves. They aren't being too hard on themselves, they aren't judging themselves. They're just enjoying their creativity without fear of being judged. This is how it should be for all of us adults as well. But somehow along the way we tend to use this childlike feeling inside of us should always be alive and present and burning, So this is what I try now every single day to maintain within myself and to express on the art that I'm creating, express on the piece of paper. I just really try to allow myself to be myself and to just be happy and content with just being me. And this is what it's all about, really. As far as my energy drawings, I cannot really describe with words, but basically it's just the movement of your hands, and they are feeling the energy in the air and just trying to basically reproduce that energy, that feeling on the piece of paper. So it adds to a drawing and it has its own life, its own story to tell. And usually it has some profound meaning that maybe later on in life I get to realize. I don't really use my analytical mind when I do these drawings. I just let the emotion flow and just let the feeling rule, if you know what I mean. So basically I never think about what kind of drawing am I going to make, what kind of hand movement am I going to make. I never question what I do, in terms that I never fear that I'm going to make a mistake or not draw pretty enough picture, but I just literally go with the flow. And usually it's when I'm in the nature or when I'm in my artist studio listening to handpan music or birds chirping if I'm outside. I have my candles lit and I just really tune into the energy of the present moment, and then this is what comes out. And I was just trying to get the perfect meaning for these two drawings, and I pulled out the card which says I'm blooming, cvjetam, I'm blooming. So it really does make sense, it's all connected. And then I just wanted to translate it perfectly in English. Since I'm doing this video in English, I googled it, and then this saying of Rumi comes out, I'm blooming from the wound where I once bled, and it really made the perfect sense for me. I will talk more about this, but just the other day I was kind of dealing with some very old feelings of emotional traumas. Really thought I'm like over with those feelings, but they came back. We had this really big rain, and I think it was an element of water that represents emotions, and this kind of built up and came out, and I was there just feeling it. I was okay with, feeling it. I was a bit surprised that I still have it in me, because I thought this is like over, done, healed. And I was like wondering, will I ever be fully healed? Because there are periods when I really think I'm healed, and then something kind of pops out on the surface again, and I'm really surprised by it. But I've learned to just observe it, to feel it, to let it flow through me, but not be emotionally attached to it. In terms of, I just want to thank my past for being such a big teacher and for making me feel all these emotions, because I feel it's very important on the canvas of life that you have felt the emotions, and then when you awaken to your true self, you can be the perfect creator, because you know what in your life you want to create and what kind of things you don't want to create. So it made the perfect sense. I am blooming from the wounds where I once bled. It made such a perfect sense for this period in my life, because I truly feel like that. I think those wounds will always stay like scars, but I can really make something beautiful from them. And this is the whole point of these drawings and this video, just to motivate you and to inspire you to do the same, because at the end of the day in our lives we are all dealing with something, and I think I can make a little bit of a difference in your life by giving you this message. Thank you so much for listening.